You're watching ESPN's coverage of Champ Week, and welcome to the Ohio Valley Conference Softball Championship on ESPN Plus, coming to you live from OSF Healthcare Field at the Louisville Slugger Park in Peoria, Illinois. Alongside Kirsten Dell, I'm Max Toma. Glad to have you with us along for the ride on this Saturday afternoon. Game 13 of the tournament means it's winner-take-all championship. A rematch of the game we just finished, Lindenwood and Eastern Illinois. Going to be a fun one if that first one was any indication.
Yeah, absolutely. And now both teams really playing for their season. There's no next game anymore. Both teams, huge opportunity to punch their ticket into the NCAA tournament. We'll get a look at last game.
Yeah, Kylie Crowder gets things started with an RBI single in the first inning. Lindenwood takes a lead that they would never relinquish in a huge 3-run sixth inning, highlighted by Daniel Franz's second massive hit in the tournament. A 2-run shot that made it 4-0. They would add one more, and the Lions take down the Panthers. Here's another RBI base hit up the middle from Torrey Hatton. That was the 5th and final run. A shutout victory, the first time Eastern Illinois has been shut out in OVC play this year. So the bracket looks like this. It's necessary. Last game of the tournament starting in just a matter of minutes. Lindenwood, who will be the home team this go-around, taking on Eastern Illinois. If the Lions win it, it's their first ever OVC tournament title. If Eastern Illinois wins, it's back-to-back and 3 in their last 4. The tournament bracket presented by Discover Peoria. With endless options, there's no shortage of fun to discover in Peoria. Visit Peoria.org to discover what Peoria has to offer. Winner take all. Final game of the tournament here in Central Illinois when we come back. Well, certainly a familiar face for Eastern Illinois, for anybody who's been watching the OVC tournament. Riley Owens, who will make her 4th appearance of the tourney, her 2nd of the day. She started game 1, went 2 and 2/3 innings, allowing just 1 hit, no runs. Didn't strike out a batter, walked 1, and now yet another look at her for this Panthers lineup, which is started by Lizzie Stiverson, who takes ball 1. Incredibly windy, but a gorgeous day here for this finale.
Yeah, winds really picked up in this latter half of that first game into the second game. But what a tremendous performance in that first game from Riley Owens. Just really kept these EIU hitters off balance, induced a lot of weak ground balls, kept the ball on the ground, kept the ball in the ballpark. Just excellent job by Owens, and love the move from Coach Brown to go right back to her. They only saw her one time through the order. They pulled Owens right as EIU was turning over the order, and so a lot of these hitters only got to see her one time, and picks up right where she left off. inducing another weak ground ball over to third base.
Get used to us saying that, because it was a ground ball to short that started the last game when Owens was out there facing Stuyvesant, and it was pretty much exclusively outs via ground balls.
13,
Infield was up to the task. They did not make a mistake last game in an all-around sensational performance, 5-0. The offense got their timely hits from especially the meat of the lineup. Owens and Rolanitis were terrific in the circle. The base running, maybe a little bit more low-key, but was phenomenal. Added to a great day all around. A complete performance in a 5-0 victory, and now they're trying to repeat. Alicia Frederick, 1 ball and 1 strike. She also grounded out to short. Her first time up against Owens. This time gets underneath it, but pops it up towards third. And Sanders there again. Haven't seen too many balls hit in the air, but that's one that Owens will take, a weak one on the infield.
Really haven't seen any balls squared up by EIU other than that Ullman double in the last game.
Ullman.
And every more zero that a Lindenwood pitcher puts up, eventually it's got to creep into the mindset of Eastern Illinois. Best offense in the conference all year long, but stymied in game 1. And for 15 runs in the first 2 games combined. The best offense in terms of average, power, on base. I mean, the depth, too. That was on full display the first couple of wins. 2-0 pitch. Jam shot the other way. They're just not getting their best swings off.
No, and again, it's because these Lindenwood pitchers are doing a really good job. None of the pitchers for Lindenwood are overpowering. You're not going to see any of these pitchers in the mid or upper 60s. They're going to live in the high 50s, low 60s, but they're going to spin the ball really well. They're going to change speeds really well. They're going to change eye levels, doing a great job of just mixing their pitches right now and just really keeping the EIU hitters guessing.
What do you think the conversation was between games for Eastern Illinois, knowing that, I mean, last game was absolutely an outlying performance in terms of the lack of offense?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you can kind of do one of two things. You can kind of lay into your players and say, and try and fire them up, but it looked like it appeared to be they took the other approach of just like, hey, let's get back to what we do. There wasn't any yelling, there was no screaming, players were light, players were laying on the turf.
Strike 3 called. Ullman goes down. Another scoreless inning for Riley Owens. She did not pick up a strikeout in that start earlier today, but she's got one here in a scoreless first inning. And the team coming in with all the momentum just continues to ride the wave. And Lindenwood, who won game 1 today, 5-0, now has a chance to take a first inning advantage again.
Energy needs may change with the seasons, but saving money makes sense all year. With CenterPoint Energy's efficiency programs, it's easy. Home energy assessments help spot ways to save. Rebates can lower heating, cooling equipment costs. And our online marketplace delivers energy-saving products to your door, electric and gas savings, all from your local energy provider. See how you can save this winter by going to centerpointenergy.com/smartsavings.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC. Are you ready to take your money to new heights? Get a flexible high-yield checking account that lets you customize your interest rate so you can keep your finances headed in the right direction. With Elevate Checking from United Fidelity Bank, you're in control of how much you earn. You can raise your rate with a few easy steps. Get more ways to earn more with Elevate Checking and start earning 4.00% APY. Learn more at unitedfidelity.com/elevate or visit your local banking center.
First appearance from anybody not named French or McKenzie in the circle for Eastern Illinois, the OVC tournament, and is Rylan Gick. 12-4 on the season, gets her 19th start. The new catcher behind the plate, too, and Lexi Gripper. The rest of the defense remains the same, but first chance to see Gick. An arm that Lindenwood did not see earlier in game one. Sophomore with a 3.92 ERA across her first 30 appearances in the regular season. Madison Knoll led off the first game today with a single out to right, came around to score, what wound up being the game-winning run in that very first inning. Gick started collegiately at Purdue Northwest, transferred in on the all-OVC newcomer team that was announced Tuesday. Great first campaign with the Panthers, a big addition out of the portal. But a 4-pitch walk. This is a new setting for her. Not for the team, though. Like we've talked about, they've been here many a times and plenty of late. But just like last year, it's a second game of this Saturday. The winner is moving on to regionals. And there's big storylines both ways. It's either 3 trips to regionals in the last 4 for Eastern Illinois, including back-to-back, or Lindenwood's first ever trip. Funded by Sanders. This is exactly how the first game started.
Yeah, and it would be
reaches, Sanders advances over the sack bunt.
Absolutely, and for Lindenwood, it would be their first postseason appearance for any of their varsity sports since becoming eligible for postseason after moving up to the Division I level and joining the Ohio Valley Conference. Chance for Coach Brown to put herself in the history books.
This would be a team that would always be remembered. Tori Hatton, who, as you have noted, consistently with the approach, looking up the middle, a lot of hard-hit ground balls that have gotten through into center. Takes a strike here, 1-1. Hatton in the air out of play. That was the 5th sacrifice bunt of the tournament for Lindenwood. And the MO is remaining the same, looking to strike first. I mean, in the very first game we had on Wednesday, we were talking about in a tournament setting, you want to play from ahead. It's so hard to come from behind when your backs are to the wall.
Absolutely, and for this EIU team, just a team that's not used to playing from behind, and so maybe a little bit shell-shocked in that last game. Going down in that first inning, 1-0. But certainly with the way their offense has been looking today for EIU, definitely need to pick up some momentum from the defense.
Hatton bloops it down the right field line, foul.
They can get a good play, some short innings, some big outs. Take some of that momentum from defense and see if you can turn it into offense, because this EIU offense just really struggling.
Tori Hatton had 3 hits, was 3 for 4 with an RBI earlier today. She's got 9 hits and 17 at-bats this week through 4 games. But pops this up on the infield. It's the third baseman making the call and the catch. That's Stuyvesant, and there's 2 gone.
And now, what do you know?
This is
broken record.
Every single time. You know, I saw her grabbing food, I think, between games, and I was almost going to ask her. Because every time she's coming up, it's the exact same situation. And it's types of at-bats that you practice when you're taking batting practice. Hey, we got a runner at second or runner at third. Usually it's 1 out. This time it's 2. But these high-pressure, high-leverage situations, even in the very first inning. Rylan Gick trying to work around that leadoff walk. I don't know if that settled the nerves. The first 4 pitches missed, and it's looked certainly better since. Sophomore in the circle, senior at the plate, and that is crushed, but way to the left of the foul pole. That is off into the field. I don't think we'd seen a ball there all week.
Yeah.
Ball with 2 strikes. Who's going to land the first punch in the OVC Championship? Hops in. Good stop from Griffin. First time she's been tested back behind the plate, and you wonder if this is maybe just a battery that they like to pair together.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you see a defensive change at catcher this late in a tournament in the season, likely more of just a battery, like you said. Gick may like to throw.
Line drive into left field, gets down. Knoll into third. They're going to wave her home. The throw from Hance on a hop, and safe! Lindenwood strikes first. So close. A strong throw from Hance on a hop. Griffin slaps down the tag.
And Kylie Crowder comes through again. Just a single through the infield. An excellent slide there from Knoll. Just an excellent slide. Hook slides and just beats the tag of Griffin. Just beats the throw from Hance out in left field. And again, Lindenwood find themselves on top.
See if this is not going to have any kind of challenge. Just a quick conversation. That's the home plate umpire, Brad Sloan. One look at it, and what an incredible slide for Madison Knoll.
Talk about putting your body on the line for your team right there.
I mean, on the turf, slid a good ways and able to swim that left arm just underneath the tag.
And you have to give so much credit to Kylie Crowder. We were critical of her early in this tournament, not having the best of at-bats with runners in scoring position, runners on base, but as this tournament progressed, has really come up big for this Lindenwood team. I mean, some massive, massive RBIs from Kylie Crowder.
And Lindenwood had been a little resistant or reluctant, I would say, sometimes when I don't think it was going to be a bang-bang play at the plate to send somebody around third. And in the first inning, they sent Knoll. It was an accurate one-hop throw, not a ton of velocity behind it from Mohance. And maybe that's knowing your arm strength or lack thereof in left field, but a good scout. And Kylie Crowder, I mean, 6 RBIs entering today, and she's just continuing to drive in runs. 3 more between these 2 games. Got a chance for double-digit RBIs at a conference tournament. You don't see that a ton. 3 balls and a strike to Emily Geary. Carter Skillman coming next. And a laborious first inning for Rylan Gick. Leadoff walk comes around to bite her, as it so often does, especially this time of year. And that is another base on balls.
Good at bat by Geary to work that 2-out walk. Anytime you can get on base with 2 outs. And pass the bat now.
Now batting designated player number 7, Carter Skillman.
Skillman back in there.
2 on, 2 out. 1 run home on a Kylie Crowder single to left. And a first pitch strike. An inning that started just like the first inning of game 1. That's why you have Knoll at the top and Sanders batting second. As Knoll draws a ton of walks and has the high average. Truly a quintessential leadoff batter with good speed too. And then you have Sanders, who, like a lot of 2-hitters out there, maybe not a ton of power, but probably the best bat-to-ball skills on the team we've seen.
And just good sound softball. Work a walk, good sacrifice bunt, clutch base hit. And you look up, and if you're EIU, you're stunned again, already down, already chasing 1 run here just in the bottom half of the first inning.
Walk, bunt, single brings in the run. And Carter Skillman has now looked at 3 straight out of the zone. Walk here, we could see maybe a trip out to the mound. Because this has been a little bit erratic and not accustomed to what we've seen throughout the season for Ryland Gick. 114 plus innings, 51 walks ago with 89 strikeouts. This is going to creep on a play over the bullpen. So 3-2, runners will be in motion on the pitch. And that is ball 4. Back-to-back walks, 3 in the inning. The first conference tournament appearance for Ryland Gick is not going the way she would like.
And the catcher, number 9, Danielle Franz.
Bases loaded now with 2 down for Danielle Franz, who just earlier today took flight out towards left field. 2-run shot back in that big 3-run inning. That doubled up the lead. Gave Lindenwood all the momentum, and they could easily walk across the finish line from there. And a first pitch strike. Gick versus Franz. This is not the matchup I think most would have expected when you were predicting what would happen in the OVC tournament. Gick, who we hadn't seen. Franz, not an everyday player by any stretch. That's roped again into the bullpen.
But certainly Franz has come in and given Coach Brown a really tough decision with who to start behind the dish. Franz having really good plate appearances, and you can feel the momentum building in every at-bat for her. Almost feel like you have to go to her.
I mean, not many times you're going to see somebody build trust at the very tail end of the season, but that's what we saw. It took one at-bat. Walk-off single up the middle with 2 outs to sink SEMO and send them home. Can she do it again? Franz scoops it out towards Hansen left. And Lindenwood takes the lead, but they leave the bases loaded. 1 base hit, 3 walks, a run, and 3 stranded in a 30-plus pitch first inning for Ryland Gick. 1-0 Lindenwood.
Once again, like to
They're playing from ahead just like they were earlier today as we go to the second.
In today's game. From East
Lineup looks the same as it's looked throughout the tournament so far, with the exception of Ullman serving as the DP and Griffin coming in as the catcher. But it all gets started at the top with the Conference Player of the Year. We'll see Hatton, Hance, and Griffin, the middle 3, here in this second inning. Starting lineup is presented by Rawlings. Rawlings, the #1 softball brand worldwide, and widely recognized as the mark of a pro. He's proud to be the official softball of the OVC. On the ground, sharply ripped into center. There's the first base hit for EIU against Riley Owens. It comes from Abby Hatton.
by left fielder number 4, Mo Hans.
One of the better barreled balls we've seen today from EIU against this Lindenwood pitching staff.
Leadoff runner on, now Mo Hans. No balls and 2 strikes. Riley Owens always a candidate to induce a double play, just given the pure quantity of ground balls she gives up. But Hans runs well and bats from the left side, so always tough to double up on a ground ball when you got a slapper up there.
And with nobody out, Hans needs to have a productive at bat to get Hatton over there in scoring position, and that'll do it.
And with the funky spin, Sanders cannot handle it. And the first 2 are on. This is already the best start to an inning easily for Eastern Illinois today.
And I think even if Sanders fields that cleanly, that ball was hit so softly. The speed of Hans, I'm not sure you would have been able to get her at first base, but this is what EIU does is as they get runners on and then they get that big extra base hit, and they were not good in that last game with that extra base hit. We'll see today. They put speed on the base pass. We're going to see a pinch hitter, or excuse me, a pinch runner, and we're going to see Emily Conkle in for Hatton, get some speed on the base pass. Again, do or die, you're playing for your season, so it is absolutely all hands on deck. You're going to see, I think, a ton of pinch runners. You may see pinch hitters. These pitchers are going to have short leashes because you are playing for your season.
So that did go infield single, so it's back-to-back base hits. It's the toughest jam that Riley Owens has been in today. That's already more hits than she allowed in the prior outing. Lexi Griffin, the reigning OVC Player of the Week, came in as hot as anybody. Up and down tournament so far. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk back in game 1. The walk did come while Owens was out there. She's in front of the count again. Tap towards third. They get the lead runner. Throw comes to first. Nowhere near in time. But the fielder's choice erases Emily Conkle off the bases.
Now batting center fielder number 5, Mary Beth Dyson.
Mary Beth Dyson. Really at that part of the lineup where it's powerful righty batter and then lefty slapper, powerful righty, back to a slapper. Makes life interesting when you're in the circle kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely, and kind of interesting, a unique lineup. You don't always see that where you go righty, lefty, and you kind of go power, speed, but it's been effective for them all year, and you know, I think we figured we'd see the same lineup. You don't imagine just after one kind of game where you wouldn't, of EIU struggling, you wouldn't see them change up the lineup, but again, they bring out the same lineup. These hitters are comfortable. They've hit in these spots all year long, these spots in the lineup.
Aaron Brown coming out. Certainly sensing the magnitude of the moment here. They haven't trailed yet today. They lead right now. Back half of the lineup due up. Riley Owens only went through the order once, faced 11 batters earlier today. But this is still a Lindenwood staff between the two of them that haven't allowed a run all day. So what are you telling the infield? You got great speed at the plate. You got runners at first and second. One down.
Yeah, I mean, you're telling the infield to play straight up. You have Noel and Darnell just about one step maybe in than they normally would be, just with the speed of Dyson. But just reminding them you have a force out at any base at this point. And so obviously your goal would be to get the lead runner, but at the end of the day, we need outs.
Tyson fouls it back. That infield single on the funky spinner to third from Mohance was the first base hit with a runner on for Eastern Illinois today. If they went 0 for 8, that's going to be another one laced into left field. It goes through the wickets of Brown, and we're going to have a tie game. Dyson delivers. Eastern Illinois strikes for the first time on this championship Saturday.
And we talked about it. The Achilles heel of this Lindenwood team has been their defense all week. If they can play a clean, sound game like they put together last game, they knew they would have a good chance to win this ball game. And you already see a little bobble by Sanders. It goes down as a hit because of the speed of Hans, and then you see just a miscue in the outfield by Brown, allowing the runner to score from second base, and a big miscue out there. Now you have Smith up to bat.
I mean, they were not going to send Hans around third, and it would have been bases loaded. This is going to be another base hit. And now they are packed. Pulled through the left side of the infield. And so many ground balls induced by Riley Owens are turning in now to low line drives.
Yeah, and this EIU team, they definitely build off of momentum. We've seen it in both of the games they've played. Well, now this is their fourth game, but the two previous games before the Lindenwood game, that once they get their offense going, it's hard to stop. Hitting is contagious. You hear that all the time. Hitting's really contagious, and I think no one is more about that than this EIU offense. I mean, if they can pass the bat, they can really put up crooked numbers.
Chloe Wambolt was only 1 for 8 with 3 strikeouts after an 0 for 2 effort earlier today. Not someone who drives in a ton. 16 ribbies on the season. Trying to put Eastern Illinois in front. Grounded towards second. They get the 1 out. But she does just that. RBI for Wambolt. Eastern Illinois leads 2-1.
Looks like we're going to see a pitching change. We talked about how short these leashes are going to be for each of these pitchers as both of these teams playing for their season. We're going to see a pitching change for Lindenwood. We're going to see Rysam taking over for Owens.
So Rysam will enter. Eastern Illinois has scored 2. Still got 2-1. Well, new pitcher coming in after just an inning and 2/3. Ava Rysam also replaced Riley Owens in that 13-5 win versus SIUE late last night. On that occasion, she went 4 1/3 innings, allowing 2 earned runs on just 3 hits. Picked up 3 strikeouts. Plenty of experience on the season, over 70 innings logged. This is her 23rd time taking the rubber.
And really no bigger opportunity for Rysam to come in. 2 outs. Needs a big out here to get her bats back in the dugout.
On this team that's Got slews of juniors and seniors. This is a freshman in the circle, and a great first pitch strike to Lizzie Stuyvesant. So you come in as a freshman in a winner-take-all championship game, and you are welcomed by the OVC Player of the Year. Stuyvesant launches one foul. 0-2.
But I love it. Rysam coming in and immediately going to that off-speed pitch and throwing it for a strike to Stuyvesant. Now quickly has Stuyvesant down in the count 0-2. And when you're a hitter and pitcher that comes off the bench and throws first pitch changeup, that certainly does something to your psyche.
They will give the runner second as Wambolt moves up. One ball and two strikes. Stuyvesant, who still really hasn't announced her presence yet in this tournament, had a single earlier, flares this down the right field line, and it drops foul. Walking a single in game one. 0-for-1 start to this game. I mean, just 3 hits in this Eastern Illinois' 4th game. Now she could change all of that with one big base hit right here. Already a 2-run inning, and that's fouled back. Player who came in from Illinois. The Dan and Christy Paulson coach for 2 years at Parkland College. Only hit a $188 last year with the Fighting Illini across 15 starts. But they have seen her grow, and how rewarding that must be for them as a coaching staff, but also for her now having her best year in her last year.
Absolutely, and clearly she has so much trust in this coaching staff going back to them.
Knoll makes the play, and once again they retire Lizzie Stuyvesant. So Eastern Illinois picks up a couple of runs. They finally get a base hit with a runner on. And they have gone from behind to up ahead, leading for the first time in this championship.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to recognize our graduates from Lindenwood, who are off the line, same baseman, number 2.
It'll be Darnell and Brown, 8 and 9 coming up for Lindenwood, now trailing for the first time in either of these 2 championship games. The rest of the lineup remains the same from what we saw in the 5-0 shutout victory. Only difference is then starting lineup is facing an arm they had not seen and nobody had seen this week in Peoria. Rylan Glenk, who bared down, gritty first inning. Walked the leadoff batter, walked 3, gave up a base hit 2, but just 1 run, and maybe now a different mentality knowing she's got the lead.
Hey, you have to imagine for Gick, maybe if the message was, hey, can you get us one time through this Lindenwood order? And then, You know, is it going to be more of a pitch by committee? Maybe each pitcher, let's get us one time through this Lindenwood order. There is some, looks like someone's warming up over there in the EIU bullpen. So there is some action down there. But for Gick, very much the message was, hey, give us some quality innings. We're not looking for you to go 7, not looking for you to throw a complete game shutout, but give us some quality innings. We have French, who's been phenomenal down there, warming up.
That's ball 4, back-to-back innings with a leadoff walk for Gick. That's also 3 walks in the last 4 batters. You surprised at all we haven't seen a trip out to the mound?
Yeah, a little bit, absolutely. Just struggled with command at times. But clearly, Coach Paulson, both Dan and Christy have a ton of faith in their catcher to kind of really help Gick through this. But big leadoff walk there for Lindenwood.
He did attempt, says the all-point umpire Brad Sloan. That is strike 1 to Taryn Brown. Are we going to see what we saw in the first inning? Leadoff walk, did a sacrifice bunt, and then looking for someone to pick up a base hit. That was Kylie Crowder in the first inning that got Lindenwood on the board and bunted foul.
And the sacrifice bunt woes of this tournament continue. Not one specific team, every team struggling to get those sacrifice bunts down.
And when you're the coach's kid, that might be a little extra frustrating. You got to go look at your mom and third base coach and head coach, stare it out, and then come out swinging and see if you can still get the job done. Got to wonder, no matter how this at bat ends, even if she homered, it'd probably be a moment that comes up later at dinner.
At the dinner table, exactly. As a coach's kids, coaches harp on doing the little things right, and those little things are exactly that.
Go down to second in plenty of time, and the tag just caught the backside for the out. As Darnell is trying to advance to second.
Really good job there by Womble. Not the best throw by Griffin. Griffin does a great job of getting that ball out of her glove quickly, but that ball takes Womble up the line. And anytime you take your shortstop up the line, it's always scary. A lot of times you see that shortstop has a hard time fielding that because you know the runner is coming right at you. But good job by Womble to not only come up the line, but stick with it, apply the tag, and hold on to it the whole time. But good job by Griffin getting rid of that in a hurry.
Aggressive call could have come from, hey, you got a new catcher back there. Hey, we just tried to bunt twice and didn't execute, and there's 2 strikes now. It's a great slide to try to get around the tag because the ball beat her by a country mile. But that can be a rally killer. 3-2 the count.
And if you're Gick, you got to feel like you have a new life. Get bailed out, giving up a leadoff walk. Your D comes up big and gets that runner out. Now you got to come back and work on getting Brown out.
Instead, it's another walk. And French has been loosening, and they have the lead, but you got to wonder how much longer you can watch this if you're in the Eastern Illinois dugout. 4 walks in the last 5 batters. 5 walks first time through the lineup in a winner-take-all championship game. Against an offense at Lindenwood that really struggled the first few games this week. And that's not close.
I think that's the biggest thing, too, about
somebody's got to go say something. I mean, nobody come out for a mound visit. It had to be a matter of time before somebody at least just gave her a bigger break between pitches.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing with Gick, too, is these misses are big, right? They're not close misses. They're not pitcher's pitches. She's just – the balls are getting away from her. And so I like this by Griffin to go out there, like you said, and just give her a minute to reset. Sometimes in these situations, if you're a pitcher, you just try to be a little too fine. You want every single pitch to be that perfect pitch, painting the black. And sometimes when you're trying to be a little bit too fine, that's exactly what happens is you just see more balls than strikes because every pitch you're just living and dying on these such thin margins.
I mean, this is a sophomore who is new to D1 this year on the all-OVC newcomer team, so she had a great season, but obviously also brand new to this tournament and pitching in the last game. So it's not shocking that she might be dealing with some nerves out there, and now it's 3-0. And you hate to speculate, but I mean, one more ball here, I think you'd have to make a move.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you see this, if you see Knoll take a walk, absolutely we will see a change.
That's a late strike call.
Yeah, I think sometimes when you get in these pressure moments, you don't trust your stuff either, right? She has excellent spin on her balls, and if you have good spin, like we've seen from these Lindenwood pitchers, you don't have to be too fine. You can keep the ball in and around the plate. You can fill up the zone. Let your spin do the work. Let it take care of itself.
Finally gets a strike back. So through nearly 50 pitches, she has gotten 4 outs. Of those 4, 1 was a caught stealing, and 1 was a sacrifice bunt where the hitter got himself out. It has been quite the struggle. 3-2 is looped towards short, but right at Wambo. Huge bounce back, though. Down 3-0, come back, get the out. When it would have been 3 straight walks to start the inning.
Yeah, and even so, you have to imagine this. If she does finish off this inning, likely the last inning that we will see Gick. There's now McKenzie's up in the bullpen.
Weak roller to Hatton. And a Sanders who likes to go after the first pitch. Bounces out. And despite back-to-back walks to start the inning, Rylan Gick able to maneuver her way around another difficult situation, and EIU maintains a 2-1 lead. So Eastern Illinois trailing after 1 inning, now leading after 2. And they've got 2, 3, and 4 due up against Ava Ricem, who gets a clean inning for the first time today. Came in, faced 1 batter, got a ground out. That was a huge out in the grand scheme of things, too. 2 in scoring position, conference player of the year at the plate. Got a ground out to short. And now dealing with the fresh frame. She can figure it out. There might be more questions in the circle for Eastern Illinois than there are for Lindenwood going forward. Don't know how much longer we'll see Rylan Gick, but French and McKenzie certainly available. They had a great couple of games in the build-up to this one. Build-up the one earlier today, I should say. Darnell makes the play. Alicia Frederick retired. She's 0 for 2.
Already seeing a ton of off-speed pitches. There was another one by Ricem.
Now batting designated player number 10, Sophia Ullman.
Excellent game of cat and mouse being called over there in that Lindenwood dugout. The pitch calling has just been phenomenal today. Utilizing their pitcher's strengths. Again, we talked about none of these pitchers going to overpower you with their speed. Really, none of them going to overpower you with their stuff in general. Don't have really big strikeout pitchers other than Wap, who we haven't seen today, but just doing a really nice job of pitching to these pitchers' strengths. A lot for like we saw for Owens and now Ricem. pitching off their off-speed pitch. That's really how they're keeping these EIU hitters off balance, is you're seeing a ton of change of speed, and that's just throwing off the timing of these hitters. You're seeing a lot of foul balls because they're not timing up the hard stuff because they're just a touch late, and then they're just a little bit early on the soft stuff. We saw that also with Rolanitis, a ton of off-speed pitches, and these EIU hitters just are not making the adjustment.
Something beautiful about that, pitching at its most rudimentary level. Just varying speeds and keeping the hitter off balance. That's what you're seeing there, too.
Yeah, for anybody watching at home, that, aspiring pitchers that want to play Division I college softball, I always tell pitchers, if you can have one good go-to hard pitch, it doesn't have to be anything special, and be able to throw your changeup for a strike. The best pitchers are the pitchers that can throw their changeups for a strike, because there's something about changing speed when you do something like that where you just kind of bounce it in the dirt, but being able to throw that for a strike as a hitter, I think about myself as a hitter. When I was facing a pitcher that I knew in any count was comfortable throwing the off-speed pitch, it was so challenging for me to stick to my plan of timing up the hard stuff.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Sophia Ullman. And she rips one out to left field, and a shoestring catch and a dive from Brown. Trying to make up for that mishap she had earlier in left field.
Big time catch from Brown, because if that ball gets by her, you have to imagine Ullman is thinking 3 bases there.
They play Abby Hatton as deep as anybody. I mean, that is Crowder almost with her heels on the warning track. Respecting the power. There's some of the off speed. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, when you get the call for changeup and you're facing such a powerful batter, what's the thought in your head? Are you a little worried, or you just always got to be confident in everything?
You got to be really confident, and there's no reason not to be confident the way she's been throwing it. But anytime you get the off-speed pitch, you do want to try and keep it down. The only time you really ever get hurt with something off-speed is when you leave it up in the zone.
That's why I see a lot of those throughout the week that have hopped in right in front of the plane. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hatton singled her first time up. That was the first base hit in that 2-run second inning. And goes down swinging. First strikeout for Ava Rysam, who has come in and retired all 4 batters she has faced so far. Brown with a nice jam in left field. Middle of 3 here in Peoria.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls, come on. Man, y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Rylan Glick still out there in the circle. With Griffin behind the plate, Stuyvesant, Wambolt, Smith, and Hatton on the infield, Hance, Dyson, and Frederick in the outfield. Second time through the lineup. And it's Tori Hatton coming up first. Getting back-to-back at bats, I should say. You got Abby Hatton on one side, you got Tori Hatton on the other. Unrelated. But it's a battle of the Hattons. It's a battle of the big cats. Panthers, Lions. Tight one, 5-0 shutout win in game 1 today for Lindenwood. If you've missed the tournament, Eastern Illinois won 2 games. They were the 1 seed, got the bye on the first day. Beat SEMO 7-6. And a very easy win in game 2 a day ago, but lost 5-0. Saw their 14-game win streak snap, their first shutout loss in OVC play this year. For Lindenwood, very different path for the 4 seed. Had to play on opening day, lost that game, and now they've rattled off 4 straight wins in elimination games. And another base hit for Tori Hatton. 3 earlier today, and her first of this tourney finale.
Another good swing there from Hatton. Like I've mentioned time and time again, excellent swing, really a good swing. Keeps her hands so far inside this ball and able
now batting center fielder number 23,
to get that ball to the outfield. Just does an excellent job of staying inside the softball. That's kind of a textbook swing when you hear people talk about staying on the inner half of the softball, staying inside the softball. Doesn't get pull happy, uses all parts of the field. We've seen her use the middle of the field a ton, but at times just like that can turn on pitches.
Kylie Crowder produced the game's first run. RBI single back in that first inning. On a base hit through the left side of the infield. This is going to be another base hit. It'll hop to the fence. Hatton going for third. They're going to wave her around. Wambolt holds on to it. We're all tied. Another RBI in the OVC tournament for Kylie Crowder.
Kylie Crowder may have not started off hot, but boy, is she absolutely on fire at this point. Has come up huge for Lindenwood. We talked about it before the first game. If Lindenwood's going to have a chance, they need Hatton, Crowder, and Geary to get going. And boy, have Hatton and Crowder just really put this team on their backs offensively.
She's got 10 RBIs this week. 2 earlier today, 2 more in this game. Geary flips it out towards left field. And no tag from Crowder. 10 RBIs. And keep in mind, she's had a couple 0-for games. So when she has busted out, I mean, it has been something special to watch.
Yeah, and Lindenwood just continues to do a good job of getting runners on base. This whole tournament, it certainly has been no shortage of getting runners on base. They've had good plate appearances. They've walked some. They've drove the ball up the middle for singles. So certainly getting runners on base. Those first few games of this tournament just had a hard time getting that big hit, but not today. And not with Hatton or Crowder. They have both been absolutely tremendous, both yesterday and today.
And they've already had 8 base runners against Smilin Gick.
A little surprised to see Gick go back out on the mound. I think we both were, just after her struggles, finding the zone, got out of that bottom of the second unscathed, but just not looking super comfortable in the circle. Misses have been big.
Even without a walk this inning, back-to-back hits to lead things off. She fell behind. Hatton got a 2-1 pitch and singled. Crowder on a 1-0, doubles down the left field line. Has not been playing from in front, but she will here on a first pitch strike to Danielle Franz.
I just figured a game of this magnitude, knowing it's win or go home, that maybe you would see McKenzie or French come out of the bullpen. but the Paulsons choosing to stick with Gick.
Stuyvesant on the money across to Hatton. That ends the inning. Back and forth we go in the early innings of this OVC Championship game. Crowder gets her 10th RBI of the tournament. Back level at 2. With Ava Ricem in the circle. There's a look at the defense behind her. Crowder in the center, who's been the hero offensively, flanked by Brown and Geary. Darnell and Noah up the middle. Sanders and Hatton at the corners. And Franz doing the catching. The defensive lineup is presented by United Fidelity Bank. United Fidelity Bank serving their communities since 1914. 2-2 game through 3 innings. To any neutral watching at home, this is the exact type of game you'd want to see. Tight, low scoring. Both teams have already gone, I should say, Lindenwood's gone to multiple pitchers. Ryland Gick's still out there for Eastern Illinois despite some struggles. And this truly feels like anybody's game.
Yeah, absolutely. Very evenly matched. EIU with 4 hits, Lindenwood with 3 hits. Just that one error for Lindenwood, the difference maker really right now. And like we talked about, I think it's going to come down to the defense. Who can be the cleanest on defense? Because both of these teams are going to put the ball in play.
Mohance with the count tilted in her favor. Loops one out of play. I mean, we've seen, you know, the proven players in the heart of these lineups come through. Who in the bottom half is going to make an adjustment and help make a statement for the next 4 innings? Mohance has the potential. All OVCT player last year. And the infield single came around to score their first run. Right back towards third. That's a fair ball. Sanders gets up. One hopper, not in time.
Big leadoff runner for EIU because they do have Mohance with speed on the base paths. EIU already doing a better job of getting runners on base. Last game, they were only able to get a few runners on, and that was happening with 2 outs, so not a lot they could do there, but doing a better job of getting runners on base with less than 2 outs.
Aaron Brown might have wanted them to come together to see if the 3-person or 4-person actually umpiring crew in this game thought that was fair or foul. You can't review it if it's in front of the base. So it's a leadoff infield single. Second in a row for Hance. Off speed in for his strike to Lexi Griffin. Now he's the first base runner to reach against Ricem since she came in and got the final out of the second. Small ball, the approach for Griffin. Low throw is spiked, still in time to get the out. Do we see our first challenge of the game? Ricem took a little bit too long At least it looked like to the naked eye.
You got to give credit to Darnell for keeping that ball in front of her, let alone, I mean, catching it, keeping her foot on the base, but just simply keeping that ball in front of her, because if that ball gets by her, I think Hans has the opportunity to score.
So we'll have a challenge.
Oh, and this call will be overturned. That's a great look there. Clearly, again, does the little things right. I'm going to harp on this. She hits the front of first base. So many times we see runners hit the top or the back of first base, and that right there is the difference between being out and safe, is hitting the front of first base. It's those little things that are going to be the difference.
And I thought you were going to go right to give her roses, because Kirsten, that's a catcher legging on a bunt single, too. How about the wheels for the backstop?
And a sacrifice bunt, but does a good job of just getting it down, seeing it down. We've seen so many bad, that's the only way you can, the only thing you can call bad sacrifice bunts, and we're going to get a really good view here. Boom, hits the front of first base. Oh, music to my ears. Seeing these players do the little things the right way. This call should be overturned.
It's a perfect look at it. Fundamentally sound. It's something you brought up a couple days ago. You know, you don't need to be fast to be a good base runner, and that's just good base running, even going home to first, because that's exactly the part of the base you need to hit, and sometimes it is a matter of just a frame or two when you watch replays.
Yeah, not to be critical here of Lindenwood, but for no reason, Rysam should have had fielded that ball. I mean, that's Sanders' ball all day, but I think a little caught by surprise with the bunt, but nobody out and a runner on first in a close game. And that call is overturned, but with nobody out, runner at first base, you have to expect a sacrifice bunt, and Sanders almost got just kind of caught flat-footed, because really Rysam has no business fielding that ball and making that throw. Looked like the infield just kind of caught by surprise. And now again, if you're this Lindenwood infield, you have to expect another sacrifice bunt.
So often, when winner go home games comes down to fundamentals. Great bunt execution from Griffin. We'll see if Mary Beth Dyson stays with the same approach.
And I think this is just a defensive alignment issue on that last pitch. Both of the corner infielders crashed. And with that, you had Darnell at second base covering second, and you had Knoll covering third, and that left first base wide open. So getting on the same page, because in this situation with runners on first and second, you're going to see, we're going to get a great look. Hatton's going to crash. Darnell, that's the sacrifice bunt there. And that's what should happen on a normal sacrifice bunt. But what happened in that previous play was Hatton and Sanders crashed, and that left first base wide open. So I think Coach Brown saw that, wanted to get our defense on the same page. So what's going to have to happen is Hatton's going to have to stay home, and Rysam has to field the right side, or what happens is Darnell is going to have to take first base, and you're going to have to leave second base open, and you're going to need Crowder from center field coming in to cover second base.
Didn't show in a bunt that time, but now it's 2-0 to Mary Beth Dyson, who singled her first time up. Eastern Illinois trying to regather the lead. And bunting a 2-0. Not the quickest again from Rysam, but this time certainly got the out at first. She's playing with fire on the fielding of the release.
And for Dyson there, just that's a situation she does. She hits the back of first base, and I think if she would have hit the front of first base, that call would have been a little bit closer.
Viola Smith had 2 hits in this tournament. They were both home runs until the single she had last game. I should say the single she had last at bat. That came in the second inning. Sometimes these games start to bleed together. Second and third with 1 out in a tie game. And an 0-2 start.
We're going to get a look back at that last play. Look here. She hits the front of first base. She might be safe, but hits the middle of the base. Again, we say it over and over again, but softball's such a game of inches.
Knoll coming home. Game of inches here. Safe the call. EIU leads.
Coach Brown wants to have a talk in that situation. Knoll wants interference, but Knoll doesn't run into the runner. And so if Knoll continues to charge that and runs into Griffin, but Griffin has the right of way. Griffin does not need to avoid the throw. Looks like we are going to get a challenge at home. Knoll kind of had to throw off her back foot because Griffin got in her vision, and that throw just a little bit off target because of that. We're going to get a really good look here, but to my eyes, it looked like the call on the field was correct. We'll see it in slow motion. You're going to see here, kind of has to throw from her back foot. And now we're going to get and this call absolutely is safe. Home plate umpire Brad Sloan right on top of that. The right foot the left leg just sneaks right in for Mo Hance.
That was a funky looking play because, really, Lexi Griffin, the runner at second, took a few hard steps, kind of hesitated, and then wound up pretty much crossing Knoll's path right as she was throwing home.
Looks like she might avoid the tag there, and that's the thing. The call on the field's so important because you do have to have indisputable evidence to overturn that. First look, it looks like Franz doesn't get the tag down. That look is a little bit tougher to see. They're certainly going to take their time on this play because this is a massive point in the game. This could be the difference in who punches their ticket.
Bang, bang play at
Here's
the
an
dish.
enhanced look. Hard to know.
If that tag is applied there, the right leg is above the plate, in the air, nothing's touched it home. The question is the mitt on that knee or is it not?
Yeah, it doesn't quite look. It looks like there's still some space there. Again, they have to have indisputable evidence to overturn. This is
from the other side. It'll be hard to tell when that glove is on the leg.
See, from that view, looks like she gets in there, absolutely. But from that other view, hard to tell. And again, if they don't have conclusive evidence to overturn this, then this call will stand. That's tough.
It's hard to overstate the importance of this call. It's either Eastern Illinois not only taking the lead, they have runners still at the corners, only one out, chance to get more, or it's out number 2 at the plate, and we're still tied. Call on the field could be everything.
That best look is going to be the one that we got that enhanced view on, but it's hard to know if Franz's glove is on Hance there. That's going to be really, really tough to overturn if they do overturn this.
Looks like the call is coming. Maybe the biggest moment of the game, and it's coming on a verdict after a challenge in this 4th inning. Call on the field was safe. That call stands. It would still be Eastern Illinois in front 3-2. Call on the field stands.
Yeah, and we've heard all week they will announce stands or confirms. Did not confirm that there, but like we've talked about, the call on the field so important. So that call does stand, just not enough conclusive evidence to overturn that, and big-time break for EIU. That might just be the break they needed.
Chloe Wambolt now with the corners pinched in. Let me ask you this. With where Knoll was playing that deep, 1, do you agree with where she was positioned, and 2, the decision to come home?
Yeah, I was took the words right out of my mouth, Max. I was just about to say, if Knoll is going to come home with that ball, she's playing far too deep. And you saw her just a little flat-footed, gets that ball on a hop and has to throw off her back leg, so not able to make as strong or as accurate of a throw home. If that was the conversation with Coach Brown, was we need to cut this run out at home, then she needed to be playing in the baseline a little bit more and needed to do a better job of trying to run into Griffin. If you can get any contact, even if you flail your glove, if you get any contact with Griffin, Griffin's out. So just a little bit of a defensive miscue. Obviously won't go down as an error necessarily in the scorebook, but just not a super clean defensive play there from Knoll at short.
Because you're thinking if she's in, she knows ball hit to me on the ground right at me, I'm coming home. If she's deep, you're probably at least thinking as a bystander, ball hit to her, she's going probably to first.
Yeah, absolutely.
One ball and 2 strikes to Chloe Wamble. Seen a lot of batters called out for going out of the box on these slappers, especially with the turf and the very clear-cut lines. Bench is fired up with that 1-2 take.
Absolutely. This is the loudest I've heard this EIU dugout all game, all day, really. They are fired up, trying to add more insurance.
On the ground at first. There's the tag, play at the plate, safe, another run comes home. And it's 4-2. Hatton got caught a little in between. I mean, Griffin was smack dab in the middle, equidistant to third and home. But when she went to make the tag, Griffin broke home, and that throw is never going to beat her.
Yeah, just kind of a broken play from the get-go. Wamble grounds out. And then if you're Wamble, too, really, Wamble doesn't do the best job there. Should have stopped, made Hatton. You can't run backwards, but you can stop. And so Wamble should have stopped there, but ran through it, gave a much easier look for Hatton to throw that ball out to Franz. And then just not a – Griffin doesn't do a great job of making a decision, gets caught in the middle, but ultimately – able to get home safely. Just kind of a broken play from the get-go. And another opportunity for Lizzie Stiverson.
On the ground to Knoll. And that will end the inning. Well, the ball never left the infield, but Eastern Illinois strikes for 2. And now they lead by 2 halfway home. The back half of the lineup coming through. And for the first time today, the Panthers have a lead by multiple runs.
The Ohio Valley Conference would like
It's the second time today we will see Carly McKenzie. She threw 4 innings in the first game. Allowed just 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. She gave way to Brianna French and the bullpen. McKenzie this time, for the first time we're seeing in this OVC tournament in their 4th game, she comes in relief and leading by 2.
Yeah, Carly McKenzie didn't have her best stuff in that first game, but still managed to have a pretty decent outing and hand the ball over to French. Again, just we saw in that first inning of the first game today, just had a hard time finding that screwball, that rise ball. If she can find that rise ball here, she's a tough pitcher to get a hit off of when her stuff is spinning.
It's her 4th appearance on the season versus Lindenwood, her 2nd of the day. Across the first 2, went 1 inning and 2 innings, just 3 total. Gave up 4 earned runs on 4 base hits. That smashed to short, juggled, but caught on the second effort from Wambo.
When I saw Wamble going to field this ball and I saw her palm stay up, I thought that was going to be a tough out. That certainly didn't feel good. She palmed that, and that ball was hit on the screws by Darnell. Right now, if you look up at the scoreboard, I think the difference, EIU really hasn't had all that many extra base hits, big hits. They haven't had any home runs or anything super flashy on offense. The biggest difference maker is 3 Lindenwood errors, and we talked about, I thought coming into today, whoever played the cleaner game was going to have the best chance of winning, and so far, that's proving to be the difference.
I think you could go 2 ways with it. You could say Lindenwood's got 3 errors. Eastern Illinois hasn't made 1. The other side of that is Lindenwood pitchers haven't walked a batter. Eastern Illinois has walked 5. 5 walks in the first 3 innings, but Lindenwood has not done much with them.
Yeah, and on the other side, too, EIU really hasn't capitalized all that much on those errors either. So I think that for both of them, they certainly haven't capitalized on free passes.
Ullman in there for Griffin behind the plate now, and that comes with the pitching change, too. It was Gick and Griffin. Now McKenzie and Ullman, and Ullman's caught her all week, and that makes sense to get her right back there. The tying run at the plate in the form of the top of the lineup and Madison Knoll. A walk and a line out to short for her today. Back and forth game. Last time Eastern Illinois struck for 2. Lindenwood got the next run. They're hoping to seesaw this right back in their favor with another rally here in the 4th.
That's a good sign for EIU, and Carly McKenzie throwing that off-speed pitch for a strike right there. Something that she didn't necessarily have in game 1.
1-2 coming. And able to lay off. What's the biggest change for these hitters going Gick to McKenzie?
Yeah, I mean, McKenzie's going to throw a little bit firmer, so you're going to have to be a little bit more on time. McKenzie probably throws the firmest. French is up there, but McKenzie's going to be all up. And so everything has to be looking down. You have to, anything below the belt, you got to be hacking. Anything that starts at the belt is going to rise out of the zone. So you just have to change your eye level, and that's really, really tough as a hitter in the game. You have to change what you're looking for. McKenzie, again, yeah, is going to look to get you chasing out of the zone.
Strike 3 called. A huge strikeout, the first of the day for either Gick or McKenzie.
Nasty low rise there by McKenzie. Just an excellent job. Throws that right at the knees and just gets Knoll looking. That's such a tough pitch.
Another first pitch swing, another first pitch single the other way, just like she did in game 1. And now officially, Anna Sanders will end her season on a 26-game hit streak.
Just incredible. I don't know if there's
Well, I guess,
It
I'm
had
sorry,
to.
if they win, I was going to go to
Yeah.
regionals and
Yeah.
it could continue.
Yeah.
I should say she will end the tournament on a 26-game hit streak. It's unbelievable. I mean, you just got to be ready first pitch. I would throw a first pitch ball and see if she's going to chase because she very frequently is going right after it.
And yeah, I think this has been a huge part of Lindenwood's success is how good Sanders has been. I mean, Sanders average now well north of 400, which is just bonkers to think about a hitter hitting 400 coming into the conference tournament. But then you have Hatton and Crowder, and those have been two really tough outs today.
On the ground, and Smith makes the play to end the inning. So a couple of runners stranded for Lindenwood, and a scoreless first inning in relief for Carly McKenzie. Last year's OVC tournament MVP is in the game, and there's a reason to be feeling good, moving and grooving if you're EIU.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls. Come on. Man, y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Eastern Illinois. They scored 4 of the last 5 runs in the game, leading by 2 with coming up to bat. As Frederick goes after the first pitch and flips out a lazy fly ball towards Brown. Both teams with 5 hits. Eastern Illinois with a 2-run rally in that 4th.
Catcher number 10.
Started with an infield single, then a bunt single, a sac bunt, a fielder's choice, and then 2 groundouts. And that produced a 2-spot. Exclusively ground balls on the infield. 6 in a row in the inning. But Lindenwood has made a few errors. They've won a game in this tournament where they had 4 errors. That was the 3-2 win in 9 innings versus SEMO. Their best defensive game, no doubt, came earlier today.
Yeah, that first game, super solid defensively. We talked about it, and when we're talking about having a sound defensive game, we talked about it. It doesn't have to look like making diving catches, making these spectacular plays, but it's just making the routine plays, making smart plays. Even though they're, not necessarily errors in the scorebook, we've just seen some more flat-footed style plays, and that one in the last inning, take you back to Knoll, just unable to get that ball to home plate in time.
Yeah, that one combined with, Lexi Griffin's bunt that went down as a bunt single that was really a sacrifice that Riceham just took too long to field and throw to first. That was a run that came around to score and an out that should have been had, even though there wasn't an error on the play. From 3-0 to 3-2 on Sophia Ullman. That went on the screws her last time up. Hits this sharply. Gobbled up by Sanders. Another low throw, though, and it skips away. We've seen a few of those from Sanders this week. And these ground balls on the infield are really proving to be productive for EIU.
And that'll go down as a 4th error for Lindenwood.
You're just not going to win many games, especially this time of year when you have that many miscues. A lot of them have been throws in this game.
And a ball that Hatton just has to come up with. Obviously a little bit of a low throw, but that's a ball that Hatton needs to catch.
I mean, we saw earlier in game 1, Lindenwood had a routine ground ball that was booted. Next batter homered, so instead of a solo shot, it was a 2-run homer for Danielle Franz last game. That was an error that was cashed in on quickly. An error here and a strikeout to follow. Great answer from Ava Ricem.
Ava Ricem continues to go to that off-speed pitch. EIU does not have an answer for Ava Ricem or really anybody from the Lindenwood pitching staff, soft stuff. They continue to swing and miss and do sweet contact. Big out there from Ricem, picking up her defense. That's all you can ask for if your coach is your pitcher, making a big-time pitch to pick up your defense.
Ava trying to work around that 1-out error. Mo Hance has kind of been this offensive performance in microcosm. She's hit 2 ground balls and she's reached on 2 infield singles. It's the spot in the order. Hance and then Griffin that have combined scored all 4 runs. 5 and 6 in the lineup. Swing and a miss. Got her to chase one up and out of the zone. Ricem climbs the ladder, gets back-to-back strikeouts. She's got 3 on the day now. Halfway through the 5th inning. Lindenwood coming up to bat, trying to climb back in this game with the middle 3 due up. Ava Ricem gets her team quickly back in the dugout. They're trying to get to Carly McKenzie, who's out there for her 2nd inning. First pitch swinging liner right to left field. Hance has it. Kylie Crowder retired. And we are seeing a lot of leadoff batters in respective innings go after the first pitch. That's also an extremely rare opportunity for Crowder without somebody on base.
Obviously, you would have to go back and look in the scorebook, but I don't know if there's been many at-bats that she's come up with nobody on base. That might have been maybe just her first or second of this tournament.
And that tells you how well Tori Hatton's been playing in front of her in the lineup lately, too. Crowder's got both RBIs. Team down by 2. With Geary coming up. Hasn't been nearly as good today as she was yesterday. She had that 3-for-3 game with 3 extra base hits. It's 0-for-3 with a walk in game 1 of the day. Awkward swing and a 1-0 count. See a lot of different types of swings from this lineup against McKenzie versus Gink. Big cut, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And with every out, the volume from this Eastern Illinois crowd grows. Trying to reach that crescendo they reached here in Peoria last year on a walk-off wild pitch in 8 innings. A 1-0 final. And 3 straight strikes, all swinging as McKenzie just powers it past Geary.
And that'll get the crowd and your defense fired up. Just powering by 3 straight rise balls to Geary.
Carter Skillman.
Carter Skillman, 2 outs and nobody on. Lindenwood has had at least 2 runners reach in each of the first 4 innings. Only a couple runs to show for it, though. In danger of going down in order. So they only did once in 7 innings in the game earlier. So they've only done it once in 11 innings so far against Eastern Illinois today. Game 1 went the way of the Lions, 5-0. They were the visitors in that game, the home team here in this one. And Skillman takes a 2-0 strike. She's one of 2 batters, her and the on-deck batter Franz, who have yet to face McKenzie today. Or at least today, meaning in this game.
Yeah, and you feel like as the pressure mounts for McKenzie and this EIU team, I think the pressure mounts even heavier for Lindenwood. As the outs dwindle, you almost feel like every at-bat gets a little bit bigger. And that's always tough as a hitter, like we talked about, to calm your heart rate, not make the situation too big. But it's always tough as a hitter when you want to be the one to be the hero. You want to be the one to see your team into the NCAA tournament.
Line shot off the mid of the third baseman, Stuyvesant. Pinball right off a wham bolt, too. But angles its way into left, a 2-out single. Catching bodies on the way through.
Just a rocket over there
Entering the game to run for the line,
to that
number
5-6
15,
hole.
Izzy
Stuyvesant does everything she can to get a glove on it.
Izzy Wilcox will run at first. She's generally been the first pinch runner off the bench.
The catcher, number 9, Danielle Franz.
And now Danielle Franz, who, don't look now, had a 2-run homer earlier today. And drills this one right back up the box in the center. Another base hit for the backup catcher, who's all of a sudden the starting catcher in the tournament.
And just confidence continues to build for Danielle Franz. Going after the first pitch. Has looked really good at the plate. Taking advantage of her opportunities. Certainly someone Coach Brown's got to be excited about. Looking ahead into next season. just a sophomore. McMinn was the everyday catcher coming into this tournament.
Yeah, McMinn's got, nearly 140 starts in her career and had a great year. Coming off a good year in 2024, too. Just a good battle at catcher. This is going to allow both base runners to move up. Wild pitch has the tying run in scoring position. And that's big time when you've got a slapper up there. Now just a ground ball that finds a hole could tie the game. Dallas Darnell. And shoots one out of play. Someone only had 4 extra base hits in the regular season, 13 RBIs. Lined out to shorter last time up. And it looks like we'll have another pinch runner come in. So Stella True is going to run at second for Franz.
Now running for the lines, number 1, Stella True.
Now you think a ground ball base hit would definitely score 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Darnell doesn't need to do too much, just needs to get this ball through the infield. You get this ball onto the grass, that's easily scoring 2.
As a team, just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position in this game. And now Carly McKenzie just 1 strike away. Trying to get out of this jam. An inning that started with a fly out to left on the first pitch and then a quick strikeout. It took just 5 pitches to get the first 2 outs. Then a couple singles, a wild pitch. And still a chance for Lindenwood to tie things back up. They have out-hit Eastern Illinois 7-5. And they've also drawn 5 walks. EIU hasn't drawn 1. They maintain that streak, too, of getting at least 2 runners on in all 5 innings. And a good battle continues.
Yeah, Darnell had that really long at bat in that first game, was ultimately called out, we think still for stepping out of the box, still unsure about that, but that pitch well into double digits, has had some really good battles today. Worked a nice walk in her first at bat.
Fouls that back. Another long duel. The last one, mentioned last game, had a rather anticlimactic finish. The longest at bat of the tournament. 2 on, still 2 away. And another 2-2 from Carly McKenzie inbound. And here it comes. Got her swinging. Biggest strikeout of the tournament for Carly McKenzie. 2 in scoring position, the tying run standing at second base. And she K's Darnell to end the inning. 4-2, we've completed 5. You're in a winner-take-all championship.
Leading off the catcher,
4-2 our
number 3,
scoreline.
Lexi
Just 5 hits for Eastern Illinois. They have made them count. Hance with a couple of singles. She has scored twice. Hance and Griffin combined have scored all 4 runs for Eastern Illinois in this one. Rysom's been solid in relief of Riley Owens. And that is today's game track presented by Visit SI. Make Southern Illinois your summer oasis. 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth. The even innings have been kind to the Panthers. Does that continue here in the 6th against Rysom? Griffin, Dyson, Smith due up. Hasn't been the best performance, far from it, for Eastern Illinois, but that's what championship teams do. You look up, and somehow, if you're Lindenwood, you are trailing in this game. Despite out-hitting them, despite having a +5 walk disparity, but a lot of work to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a lot of time left in this game, and EIU would love to get some insurance runs on the board. Like you said, haven't played the cleanest of games. Certainly did not play well in that first game. Got blanked for the first time in the Ohio Valley Conference, and then come out today and still not having the best at-bats. We're not seeing the inning they scored 2. The ball didn't leave the infield.
Three of the 5 hits have been infield singles. Well, from 3-0 to 3-2. Good battle back here from Rysom.
And I'll continue to say it. It's because of the stellar pitching from Lindenwood. You're Lexi Griffin, 3-1 count, hitters count, and you get thrown an off-speed pitch. That's just nasty and just tough to hit. And 3-2 count, and back-to-back off-speed pitches. You just have to give so much credit to the pitch calling by the coaches and then the execution by these pitchers for Lindenwood. They've been absolutely excellent here today.
Probably going to get a pinch runner for Lexi Griffin, who was not pinch run for last time she was out there, but will be on this occasion. Addison Rios, we saw come in as a defensive replacement at second last game.
25, Addison Rios.
Will enter this time at first.
And if you're Lindenwood, you have to feel really good about the future of this program. Obviously, Riley Owens, who was tremendous, is a senior. Avery Wapp, who arguably their ace, out hurt, is a senior. But you think about pitchers that have had some really is another defensive miscue for Lindenwood. That will go down as the 5th error today. But you think about pitchers that have had some massive innings in this tournament. Rolanitis, just a sophomore. Obviously, Rysom, just a freshman.
I mean, this is Darnell dropping it, and that is a 4-year starter. And now Viola Smith sends it out to left. Bit underneath it, though. Big first out after, I mean, what should have been a routine bunt back to the pitcher.
And you still have Hydrick Pratt pitchers. I mean, they have a ton of pitching staff, a ton of really key players returning, even though for how veteran they are a very veteran team. Rysom really impressive in this tournament. Rolanitis really impressive in this tournament.
Just feels like for this game, anything Eastern Illinois hit to the outfield has been an out. Anything they are hitting on the ground has been an adventure. Leave it at that. Infield singles, errors, misplays, bad throws. 5 errors total for Lindenwood.
And if this scoreline holds, that will be the difference. I mean, that'll be the story, because otherwise Lindenwood has been excellent pitching, offense, base running, but just their defense played like we talked about, a really solid game last game. We'll see if Rysom can pick up her defense here. This would be a big out if she can get Womble.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Just off the outside corner. Working away to the left to Ambo, who's got 2 RBIs today. 1 in each plate appearance prior. At just 16 in the regular season, the Rock Valley College transfer. Big 2-2 from Rysam. Looped out to left, that'll drop down. Throw to third, not in time. Everybody moves up 60 feet. The bases now loaded.
And the bases juiced for the OVC Player of the Year, Lizzie Stuyvesant. We're going to see a pitching change, I think, here.
This just feels like it's time for Lizzie Stuyvesant to finally have that big breakthrough base hit she has been searching for in the tournament. 0 for 3 today with 3 ground ball outs.
And WAP is getting warm in the bullpen. We'll see if they go to her. It looked like Coach Brown had brought out her lineup card.
Still getting loose down in the bullpen. We'll see if that's about buying some time or the approach to face Stuyvesant, who is just 3 for 11 in the OVC tournament. Has not driven in a run yet after driving in 28 in the regular season. The OVC Player of the Year at the plate. Trying to bust this game wide open. And a good stop for Franz.
Interesting there, they just had an assistant coach run down to their bullpen and he came back shaking his head no. So I don't know if that's Rysam's not ready, or excuse me, WAP's not ready, or maybe not able to go. But big, big moment here for Rysam, just a freshman facing one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter in the OVC.
Yeah, Stuyvesant led the conference in the regular season in base hits. And Lizzie Stuyvesant sends one out towards right. Gary moving back, gets behind it. The throw comes all the way into the plate and add another run on a sac fly from the Conference Player of the Year. Rio slides it safely, 5-2 EIU.
And that just feels like a massive, massive insurance run if you're EIU to put that deficit to 3 now. Obviously would love to tack on 2 more with runners in scoring position.
Out to left, curving right towards Brown to end the inning. Rysam able to strand a couple in scoring position, but a key sac fly. Lizzie Stuyvesant gets her first run batted in on the tournament. And Eastern Illinois now leading by 3, their biggest advantage of the day.
Hey girls, swung the new mantra yet?
No, but I heard that bat is insane.
Y'all want to swing for it?
Yeah, we do, but we know how that went last time.
Yeah.
Let's go, girls, come on. Man, y'all can stand on your own. I guess I'll give you a couple.
We'll actually take 4.
Mantra, power on repeat.
Ready for a local getaway that feels like a world of its own? Escape the ordinary and discover the charm of Southern Illinois. With local wineries, live concerts, farmers markets, and scenic trails to explore, there's an adventure tailored for every taste bud and passion. Our breathtaking lakes offer endless possibilities for adventure. Rent boats, jet skis, or kayaks, and explore our world. Visit Southern Illinois. Start your adventure today.
What's it like to be a student athlete in the OVC? We rise to challenges and challenge others to rise with us. We show respect. We lead by example. In the OVC, we become champions on and off the field. That's OVC Sports, and you've got to OVC it.
Look inside both dugouts in this tight game. The last 3 runs have been scored by the 1 seed, though. Eastern Illinois leading 5-2. Those 5 errors have been costly for the Lions. They do still have 6 outs to work with, needing at least a few runs. They scored 5 in the last game. They're going to need to add a few more here in the last 2 frames. 9-1-2. It's Taryn Brown first. And it's a tall task because Eastern Illinois has been the best team all year long. Carly McKenzie, like we've talked about, was the OVC Tournament MVP last year. She knows how to get the final out. She went the distance in 8 innings last year in this game. And you know, in her mind, she would love to have the ball to get every out in the 6th and the 7th. And this time, be out there when they celebrate and get the final out because they won in walk-off fashion a year ago.
Absolutely. Playing for her season, playing for her career. Carly McKenzie, a senior. Some big-time pitches.
Exhibit A. Taryn Brown behind 1-2. Been on base both times. Walking a single for her today. And lays off the high rise. No appeal. You just need base runners. And it would be huge if Brown could reach. Knowles had some strong plate appearances today. She's next. And you get to Sanders and the 26-game hit streak. And now the count is full. A little extra on that leg kick from McKenzie, hoping that was strike 3 called.
Yeah, if you can turn this lineup over, Knowles, Sanders, Hatton, Crowder, they've been excellent today. Been really, really hard to get out. Have put the ball in play hard.
Strike 3 on the outside corner. The last 3 outs have all been via the strikeout for Carly McKenzie.
And Carly McKenzie just paints the outside corner. Goes back to that trusty screwball that she loves to throw against lefties. And just paints the black there.
Knowles got to walk a line out and a strikeout, so we're back to the top of the lineup. Lindenwood took a 1-0 lead when Knoll came around to score in that first inning. Eastern Illinois responded with a 2 spot in the second. Lindenwood tied it with 1 in the third. And since then, it's been all Panthers. 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th inning. In their quest for a 3rd conference tournament title in the last 4 years, and a 2nd in as many seasons. And Knoll now well in front, 3-0. 34 walks in the regular season, and she's just added to that total throughout this tournament.
And that's why you see her hitting leadoff, such a good leadoff hitter. You want a leadoff hitter that's going to see a ton of pitches. So helpful for the next few batters. Just a really patient hitter. Maybe not your typical lefty slapper that you see a lot of times in softball. She does have some speed, but just really good. Does an excellent job at making the pitcher pitch to her.
From 3-0 to a routine 4-3 ground ball out. Rios stayed in the game to play second. And Madison Knoll retired.
Anna Sanders.
That was a big time out there just because of how good Anna Sanders has been at getting on base and then how good Hatton and Crowder have been. If you can pitch to Sanders with nobody on base, that's so important.
I like the idea there to go first pitch in, because generally that first pitch is just lined into shallow left field. Try to get the swing and a jam shot. That single to left came in her last plate appearance. There's one of those awkward swings again.
And just you don't see a ton of awkward swings from Anna Sanders, but the reason that swing was awkward was because of that first pitch. That set her up. That pitch in on the hands kind of got Sanders guessing, and then she sees a pitch that she would normally drive the other way really hard, but kind of just awkward swing like you said, Max.
Another uncomfortable swing as she jams one on the ground is short and cannot leg it out. Wambolt gets the out at first, and we will go to the final inning with Eastern Illinois in their quest to repeat, leading by 3. Well, last year in this game, we went to extra innings, and in the 8th, a wild pitch from Avery Arwood scores the game-winning run. Eastern Illinois walks it off. They go to regionals for the second time in 3 years. What a dramatic finish it was. That video courtesy of WCIA, Charleston Local News. Thrilling finish, wild pitchers duel. I mean, no runs in regulation, and then you get one in the 8th, and not the way anybody would have expected. That came with 2 outs as well. Never expect a pitcher's duel with McKenzie and with Arwood, both absolutely locked in to end in the way that it did. Avery Wap in the circle now and induces a pop-up behind second. Tracked down by Darnell. And Ullman pops up. So they eventually do go to someone who's throwing it really well in this tournament and had a complete game shutout. They'll ask her to get 3 outs, at least for now, in the 7th. Or maybe just the 1.
I think for Wap, being a senior, want to give her a little bit of a curtain call. Obviously, just battling through an injury, just incredible. Gets a standing ovation, a hug there from her teammate. And definitely emotional coming off that field. And just a class act there by Coach Brown to give Wap just one last go. Obviously, we've talked about, I mean, she was so good in this tournament, but just dealing with a labrum tear in her pitching shoulder. Just dealing with, at one point during the season, was shut down completely, and to even come back and be able to throw your arm in a circle, just really incredible from Avery Wap, and just a class act there from Coach Brown to allow Wap to come in and get one final out.
She was entirely shut down for 4 weeks. We talk about how long the season is, but you miss a month as a pitcher, and then you need a runway to get back up. She threw over the weekend. Samantha Rolanitis, by the way, is going to take over for her with 1 out in the 7th. Speaking of someone who also has been very strong in the circle in this tournament. But, I mean, I think that was, you said it, extremely classy. I think anybody in attendance here in Peoria or watching at home can appreciate that, no matter who you're rooting for. Comes in, gets an out, very emotional going back into the dugout. But you can't lose track of where you are, because it's just a 3-run game. It's the final inning, And Rolanitis needs to come in if you're Lindenwood and get 2 quick outs. And she's facing Hatton and then Hance. 4 and 5.
Yeah, and just one more thing on WAP. It has been a huge reason that this program has elevated year over year. They come in as the 4 seed, their highest seed in this OVC tournament, and a lot of it has to do with just what WAP has done over her 4 years and just how tremendous she's been and the senior leadership that she's given this team. Just nothing but good things to say about her, and glad she was able to get one last go on the mound.
That bounced right over the base, and 3 unassisted. 4 1/3 shutout innings earlier today in this matchup for Rolanitis.
Now batting left fielder, number 4, Mo Hance.
When we do get to the home half of the 7th, Lindenwood will be trailing by at least 3, but they'll have 3, 4, 5. Hatton, Crowder, and Geary due up in some of the biggest bats all year and all week. That's got some funky spin to it, but it'll be glove foul. We saw one like that off the bat from Hance earlier that was fielded and then popped out of the mid of Sanders and ultimately went down as a single. All in all, between 2 games today, this has not been the Eastern Illinois offense we've seen all season long. I mean, the hit for average, the hit for speed, we talked about that their first appearance. They kind of have everything. They have finesse hitters, they've got slappers, they've got power. I haven't really seen any of the power throughout these 2 games, and when they have scored in these innings, it has generally been bunt singles, infield singles, and just putting the pressure on. And the pressure in this case has burst the pipe a few times. 5 errors for Lindenwood. It's a huge reason why Eastern Illinois takes a 3-run advantage. Last chance for the Lions in their first ever trip to the OVC Tournament Championship. When we come back, they're looking for some late magic. Carly McKenzie, that's what she has done so far today in these 2 championship games. 7 innings, 11 strikeouts. Last year in the championship, wasn't too different. 8 innings, no runs. Just a big-time player and a big-time moment.
Yeah, hasn't been her most solid performance, but she's made massive pitches and gotten huge strikeouts when it's counted. Certainly not going up mowing these Lindenwood hitters down, but when she needs to make a big pitch, she has come up with it huge.
And another base hit into center. Stop me if I've said it before, from Tori Hatton. Up the middle all day long. 2 for 4. She's got 5 hits between these 2 games. And the ideal start for Lindenwood is to get the leadoff runner on. And what it looks like we'll probably see a pinch runner. So Hatton with the base hit.
Entering the game to right for the Lions, number 11,
And Justine Davidson's going to come in at first. Pinch runner on. Kylie Crowder up. Base hit number 8 for Lindenwood. First time they've ever made it to Saturday in the OVC softball tournament. And they won 5-0 to halt that 14-game Eastern Illinois win streak. And their story is not finished yet. They're hoping they can cap it with a conference title for the first time and do so in incredibly dramatic fashion.
Yeah, and they have the heart of their order up. Hatton, Crowder, Geary, Skillman, been really good.
And Crowder's got 2 hits and 2 RBIs in this game, including a double. Lined out to left her last time up. That was her lone at bat in this game against McKenzie. Pulled towards third. Stuyvesant goes to second, and they get the lead runner.
Good play there by Stuyvesant. Does a good job of taking a little bit of a drop step there to get that ball on the longer hop, and then I thought she might just try to throw that across, but good job there by Rios to be to second base on time. A lot of times you'll see that second baseman there a little late, but just a good routine play, but a play that's harder than they made it look.
So much riding now on every single pitch. Every strike is just a moment closer. McKenzie struck out Geary swinging last time. Hasn't had an answer for that rise towards really the belt to shoulders area. She's consistently chased it. 3 straight swinging strikes last at bat. Has the power, 8 home runs on the season. They just need one more base runner to have a chance to tie it with 1 swing. That swing can get a little long, though. It pitches upstairs.
Absolutely. Was just about to say that is the reason Geary has struggled a little bit today is her swing's gotten a little bit long. When she's at her best, her swing is short, inside, uses the left half of that field, and just getting a little bit long, getting a little big, wants to change this with 1 swing of the bat, which you totally respect, but needs to shorten up here and just try and poke one through the infield. They just need base runners.
This time got to that pitch upstairs. Skillman on deck. Franz in the hole. What a script we could have in store if Franz is able to grab a stick this inning. She would at least be the game-tying run at that point. Two balls and 2 strikes. A lot of nail biting going on in this crowd in Peoria. Carly McKenzie so far, 3 1/3 innings, has not allowed a run. And important for her, she hasn't walked a batter in this game either to go with those 4 strikeouts. The senior trying to do exactly what she did last year, finish out the conference tournament championship game. Another 2-2 to Geary. And another foul ball to the screen.
Yeah, and if you're McKenzie, just keep going back there. Keep staying on the outer half, climbing the ladder. Geary still getting underneath those, still hitting the bottom half of that ball. And with a rise ball pitcher, you're not going to be successful hitting the bottom half of a ball coming from a pitcher that has that up spin.
On the ground, flip to second. And a little double clutch on the transfer. But Eastern Illinois just 1 out to go.
Felt like you could hear a pin drop. That ball was hit. Everyone holding their breath as Rios fielded that and got that over to Womble. I mean, this crowd went completely silent.
Now batting designated player number 7, Carter Skillman.
Carter Skillman, the last chance for Lindenwood. And wouldn't you know it, for a team that is led by a ton of seniors, it is a freshman with the stick in her hands with 1 out potentially left in the season.
And one thing about Skillman is she is patient. She does not swing at a lot of pitches outside the zone. She's a very patient hitter, has a good understanding of the strike zone. Drew a walk her first plate appearance. Flied out to center in her second and hit a single in her last plate appearance. So certainly seen the ball well here today.
And that's a strike. There's no way she was swinging 2-0. They're going to say pitch clock violation, it looks like, though. This might go 3-0 instead. Yeah, it's going to be 3-0. Big time call. You're taking at least 1 pitch, if not 2, now if you're Skillman. That's only the second time we've seen this all tournament, and what a time for it to be called.
Yeah, I don't love that call. I don't think she was slow at all, and you don't want to put this game in the umpire's hands. It's just no need to insert yourself there.
Here's your straight take and a strike. You take it again here, 3-1?
Absolutely, especially as a freshman.
Franz on deck, has a 2-run homer today. 5-2 Eastern Illinois. And out away. And now a strike away. Three balls and 2 strikes. Eastern Illinois has won 3 straight regular season titles, trying to win a 3rd of 4 years in the conference tournament. Strike 3 called. Start the party in Charleston. Eastern Illinois has gone back-to-back.
And what a job by Christy and Dan Paulson all year. And EIU will go dancing. They will await their fate tomorrow at the NCAA selection show. And just who else other than Carly McKenzie to get the K looking, the senior, when she needed to in big moments. She made huge pitches. Just an impressive performance by McKenzie to come back after not having her best stuff in that first game and come back and get these Lindenwood hitters. Just overall good performance by EIU to come back and bounce back after a tough game 1.
Back-to-back conference tourney titles, 3 in the last 4 years, 3 straight regular season championships. I mean, this is starting to be a dynasty. The Eastern Illinois Panthers, got to give some credit like you did to Dan and Christy Paulson. How about what they have done in 2 years, because they've swept the regular season and the conference tournament now. And what a moment that is for Carly McKenzie, because she got the complete game shutout last year. They won in walk-off fashion, so it was while she was in the dugout. This time she gets the win in the circle and does so with a strikeout.
Yeah, and Carly McKenzie's doing what Carly McKenzie does, and just when she needs it, goes right back to that trusty screwball that she's done all year against lefties and just paints the outside corner, and just really the reason for so much of EIU's success. You love to see her making that final out because she's been such a huge part to this EIU success all year.
What a season, what a team, what a pitcher that senior is in the circle. Last year's OVC tournament MVP. We'll have to wait to see who is ultimately capped as the tourney MVP this year. This is how championship teams are built, with depth, with experience, with a quality pitching staff, 2 incredible head coaches who were the co-head coaches of the year. They've got the conference player of the year. And even on a day where they were not at their best this morning or again this afternoon, the best teams find a way to win and celebrate the last game of the conference season, and that's exactly what Eastern Illinois got to do.
Absolutely, and Eastern Illinois, all around a well-coached team, and they deserve all of this. They've been so good throughout conference play. They were so good throughout this tournament, and certainly have a chance to go make a name for themselves in the NCAA tournament.
They were a 4 seed last year when they went to Austin. Texas ultimately wound up being the Women's College World Series champs. We'll see where the Panthers from Eastern Illinois go for regionals this year after they win it all. So, for Kirsten Delp and our entire production team here in Peoria, I'm Max Thomas saying thanks so much for spending your whole week with us. What a thrill it was. Eastern Illinois repeats. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.